the BBC and I made another video, but I forgot that this video was about the article. We do have they had Sweet Baby Inc. is a failed developer. They're a developer that no one likes. And you would think that the media would be like, you know what? Sweet Baby Inc. sucks. Okay? They're a horrible developer. But they're basically doing everything they think they can to defend a developer like Sweet Baby Inc. So if you're not new, Sweet Baby Inc. is this developer that basically writes and co-develops games with massive AAA developers and indie developers as well. You know, the whole goal is to make gaming more quote unquote more inclusive. You know, but really what they're doing is making games worse by making the game's stories sound like garbage. Making horrible characters that no one can relate to, and it's just an overall mess that Sweet Baby Inc. has caused. Okay, so we all know Sweet Baby Inc. A lot of games that they have been involved with, like they have actually sneakily snuck out, like they have been involved with a lot of games. But if you've heard of any of some of the worst games that have come out in the past couple of years, like for example, Starfield, Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, and Saints Row, well, Sweet Baby Inc. are the people behind some of these big failures. Same thing with Gotham Knights and Forspoken as well. Okay. Also, they developed Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Or they're the ones that put, all the wokeness in Spider-Man 2, like that really stupid side quest. But according to the BBC, if you do not like Sweet Baby Inc., you're racist towards black women. Yes. So if you do not like a company that has had a history of failure, a history of flops, okay, kind of like EA, okay, like EA is, I think, still considered the worst game developer by far, okay, but Sweet Baby Inc. might be in the running for worst game developers ever, okay. So probably know the viewers as Top Gaming Souls, Twice Already Gaming Souls. According to this, if you do not like Sweet Baby Inc., you're racist towards black girl gamers. There's actually another company called Black Girl Gamers. Yes, there's an actual company called Black Girl Gamers, but they basically work with they're another developer that I have never heard of before, but they're basically another Sweet Baby Inc. company. I'm all fine if you want to include, diversity in video games. Like if you want to include characters of different backgrounds, but you actually have to make the characters likable. Like these two game developers, mostly just Sweet Baby Inc., do not seem to understand why, people don't like games like Forspoken. They don't like the writings. They don't like the characters. The characters are unlikable. Okay, same thing with Saints Row, same thing with all these games. Okay, it isn't a Mario. Okay, it isn't a game like Mario. It's a story-based game. Okay, if Suicide Squad was like a Mario and the story didn't matter all too much, and it was more about the gameplay, then yes. But for most games, yes, the story does matter. For a single-player game, the story does matter. If it's a multiplayer FPS game or a game like Mario, where the story is very minimal or very minimal evolved, and it's mostly about the gameplay or something like that, then yes, I don't think anyone would be complaining if they made like a Mario Kart-esque game and they had a diverse cast of characters, and there was no real story or writing as well. I think most people wouldn't really care, okay? Because it's a Mario Kart game. If the gameplay is good, people wouldn't really care what the color of the skin of the playable characters in the game. But the problem is companies like Black Girl Gamers, which is another developer I think I have never heard of before. Okay, they're basically some indie developer here that I've never heard of before, but they're just another company here. But so basically, this rest of the article is about this random developer called Black Girl Gamers. But according to the BBC, if you do not like Sweet Baby Inc., and you say, okay, that Sweet Baby Inc. is a terrible developer. Okay. Oh, there's also another boycott list for this other company. So yeah, there's another the company called Black Girl Gamers. I have never heard of them before, and I don't care. Okay, if they do want to make games for black girls, and that's understandable. But I think this would really keep them out of established and existing IPs. I think that's the problem with these two game developers. They put their stuff in existing IPs, like Suicide Squad, DC games, and stuff. And I think that's what pisses people off. Okay, I think if they really want to, is to make their own games or co-develop new and upcoming indie developers that have these representation. Not games like the Saints Row reboot or Starfield or Forspoken. Okay, Forspoken is a new IP, but if they, like for example, After Love Eve is an indie game. Okay, I don't know if people like those games, but I think they should just stick to like indie games and create new IPs. Okay, I think that would be the best they could do. Companies like Sweet Baby Inc. and all these other developers, but the problem is they keep developing these massive games, and they keep failing. I don't know about Black Girl Gamers or any games they developed. Okay, so they're the ones who developed Forspoken. Okay. That's basically what they did. That's basically the only game that I know they developed. What other games that they developed? Okay. Because of ideas of fantasy games get dragon, but no people of color, like, really, no, most people don't care. Okay. They don't have a list. That's weird. So the only game we know about is Forspoken, basically. Forspoken. I have never heard of this company before. Yeah, I have never heard of this company before. So the only game that I know they developed was Forspoken. That's it. That's the only game that I know. Yeah. I just find it gets so offended that people make lists of games like. Yeah, I have never heard of this game developer before. I really do not care. Because most modern gaming has just sucked anyways. Okay. Even like the big developers, like they suck now. A lot of big game developers suck now. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, that's basically all it is. The only game they developed is Forspoken. That's, only game they've ever developed. That's pretty funny. Yeah. But yeah, I have never heard this game developer. But according to the BBC, we all must be purged for not liking CPB Inc. And this other game developer, and these other game developer that no one cares about. I don't care about this game developer, and of course the curator lists does not appear to exist anymore, unlike the CPP Inc. one as well. But it is kind of weird that no one knows what games are developing. Like, we're not allowed to know about this. Yeah. But yeah, that's it about this video. I have never heard of this game developer before. Basically, the BBC, the British Broadcasting Network, of course. British people are that sensitive now. Okay, just remember, the British people got offended over Mary Poppins. Or, they got offended because people made a joke about someone got arrested in Britain because they misgendered someone, or they made a joke online about a dog doing a no-no salute. Like, of course, like in America, no one can get arrested for that. They have freedom of speech here. Okay, the person did it ironically too. But the British government, the British news is that sensitive. I just think the ideological difference between Britain and America is just growing. Okay, it is really growing. The divide between America and Britain is just really growing further and further and further. To the point, well, America is gonna be far more right wing than Britain. Britain is gonna be just like Canada, country of pussies and pansies, basically. Okay, you can also lump in Australia and New Zealand, but even like Australia and New Zealand are slowly moving away from Britain and Canada ideologically. Okay, they're slowly starting to make a U-turn away from Britain and Canada. They're really the last, Britain and Canada are really the last of the super woke countries in the world. Okay, also Ireland too. Ireland also got the super pansies like in Britain. They get offended over literally everything. Okay, you can really, look at someone the wrong way in Britain and throw you in jail for for hate speech or something. Like, come on, okay? There's a reason why in America we have the First Amendment, and why in Britain, why we seceded from Britain. Okay, there's a reason why America is not a part of the UK. Okay, why America separated from Britain. This is why. Okay, they want to purge people who disagree with them. Yeah, you know which other governments want to purge people who disagree with them? China and North Korea and Russia. Okay, the fact that Britain and Canada is becoming more and more like the countries that they hate the most, Russia and China, is pretty ironic to say the most. Okay, I'm sorry, but under any circumstances, I will never move to a country like Canada or Britain. Under any circumstances. Okay, it's like you have no freedom in those countries. Like you have I know America is not a perfect country as well. They have, of course, America does have its problems, but compared to the UK, where you can go to jail for posting like memes, like I know some states are trying to do that, but in some states you basically have like a lot of freedom. Like for example, if you go to like Texas, okay, but the ideological divide between America and Britain is becoming so wide now. Like even like blue states are still more conservative than Britain and Canada. I think the closest state in America to Canada will be like the northeast states in California. Okay, and even those states are becoming more and more are still more conservative than probably your average Canadian. Okay, hopefully one day Canada and Britain turn a corner, but it seems very unlikely they will. Okay, even like places like Sweden are turning a corner against this bullcrap. Okay, Germany, France, Spain. It's really not now the woke corner of the world is just Britain, Ireland, and Canada. Okay, it's really just them. Okay, it's really just them. Everyone else is turning a corner except for the British Isles and Canada. Okay, everyone else is like, yeah, we gotta turn a corner on this, or else. Like the people themselves are turning a corner and realizing that this ideology, this sick ideology, of course, this is no surprise that he would say something like this, that they need to have final purge of video game gamers. So if you disagree with Sweet Baby Inc., you need to be purged from the internet. You need to be banned. There's a reason why UK sucks, why Britain sucks, okay? Why I never want to live in the UK, okay? For example, Canada's GDP per capita has been ragged and declining, same thing with Britain, because both countries would rather go down the ideological path of a neo-Marxist state than be an actual functioning country. I feel bad for people who actually live in Canada and Britain, because I know a lot of people from Canada and Britain do watch my videos. And no, I am not talking about you. I am talking about the governments of Canada and Britain and how sensitive they are. And of course the elites as well. Okay? If you're a conservative person or a normal thinking person, because I'm not saying normal thinking person, I see things for how they are. I just analyze things for how they are. If you're a normal thinking person, you're sick of the bullshit like you, well, you could of course always, try to run for office and try to unseat the establishment in these countries. Obviously. Of course, America's not a perfect place in the world, but I can actually say this stuff without going to jail, like in Canada and Britain. Okay? So really, Canada should be lower on the freedom index than the US. Almost certainly. Okay? At least in America, people can protest without going to jail. At least if the protest doesn't turn violent, like with as well. At least in America, people can protest for any cause without going to jail. Like literally, people protested in Canada with a bunch of trucks and they got jailed. Yeah, that's how it is with it in Canada. They just live in basically the North Korea, woke North Korea. I wouldn't be surprised if Canada becomes a communist state in the future. But yeah, I'm done with this rambling here, and that's about this video here. Goodbye.